Well, welcome to this episode. As always, Luke is with me again.
Hello.
And if you can't tell, we're trying something a little different with season two with this fireside chat. We hope you enjoyed last month's episode of Tombstone. And for this episode, technically, it didn't even come out in October for this movie. So let's just jump in.
Beetlejuice. 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 It's showtime.
And with that, if you couldn't tell what we're going to be talking about, it's the 1987 Beetlejuice.
Showtime.
Now, Luke, when was the last time you saw this movie before we said we were going to do this?
It was probably 2 or 3 years ago, I think. To watch the full thing, I think, because a lot of times I'll catch it's on TV or something, I'll watch it, and catch half of it or something like that. But to sit down and watch the whole thing, it's probably been 2 or 3 years.
It's been even longer for me because it's always been, just the little snippets here and there, especially if somebody throws just a quick clip on Facebook or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah.
But yeah, this was the first time I've actually sat down and watched it probably in a good 10 years.
Oh, wow.
Now, some parts I have to admit kind of aged the movie and some parts really held up.
Yeah.
So obviously we both like this movie, so that's why we're doing it.
Yeah. But it always throws me off, like Alec Baldwin. He doesn't look like Alec Baldwin to me in this movie.
No, he really doesn't. And
yeah,
it made me really think about it. When this movie came out, the only person in the whole movie I truly recognized was Jeffrey Jones.
Yeah.
Michael Keaton, Catherine O'Hara, and Winona Ryder. Those were the only ones I really recognized. Jeffrey Jones, obviously, from his other classic 80s movies.
Ferris Bueller's Day Off.
Exactly. I think everybody knows Mr.
Yeah.
Mooney.
Yeah.
And, Howard the Duck.
Oh, yeah. Howard the Duck.
So, there's only one other real film I can think of with Jeffrey Jones in it. And it's also another Tim Burton movie.
Yeah.
Which one am I thinking of? Would have been another.
For Michael Keaton?
No, Jeffrey Jones.
Oh, is he in Edward Scissorhands?
I don't think so, but that's not the one I'm thinking.
Okay, no, I'm blanking then.
The Headless Horseman movie with Johnny Depp.
Oh, Sleepy Hollow.
Sleepy Hollow, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, he is in that. Now you said that, I'm like, oh yeah, I remember him now. So
that's about the only things I can think of where Jeffrey's in. And do you know why we don't see a lot of him anymore? Okay.
He's not dead, is he?
No, he's not dead.
Okay. I was like, oh crap.
No, he's just on a registry.
A Scientology or something?
No. Sexual predator.
Oh, geez. Oh, I didn't know that. Oh, wow. That ain't good.
Yeah, I don't think he's officially blackballed off of Hollywood, but
he is. Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
At this point, especially with everything in the last couple of years, he's.
Yeah. We won't ever see him again.
Yeah, pretty much. So that's why
they may not even put him up on the memorandum in the Academy Awards when it comes around.
Yeah. So I wasn't sure if you knew that. So that
I didn't know that.
Those little ace up my sleeve kind of
Yeah, I
fact.
did not know that.
Yeah, that's
Definitely a
why we really
surprise.
didn't see much of him. In fact, he was lucky. The original allegations came out right before Sleepy Hollow, I think,
Oh,
and then post Sleepy Hollow, yeah, it didn't look good.
yeah.
Especially when he moved and didn't update his registry.
Ooh, that's not good.
Another 3 years probation added on or something. I don't know. It's out there if you guys want to look it
Yeah,
up.
not good.
But Alec Baldwin, really, I think the first Alec Baldwin movie that I remember
Yeah.
as a young kid is going to be The Hunt for Red October.
Oh,
You know, obviously since then I've gone back and seen other things, but that's
like I love him in Glengarry Glen Ross. That's, I mean, he's in there for just a short period, but that speech is awesome that he gives.
so. And then Gina Davis.
My big role I remember her from is A League of Their Own, but I think that comes out later.
That came out, I believe, 92.
Yeah. I mean, that's I mean, I remember recognizing her from Beetlejuice in that, and that was kind of, for me, that was the big, that's what I think of her when I see her. So.
Prior to this, without actually looking everything up fresh here, off the top of my head, I'm going to say Earth Girls Are Easy.
I never saw that.
And maybe The Fly.
Oh, The Fly. Yeah.
So, but again, both of those I saw well past Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
So it's kind of going back, and then obviously The League of Their Own and Thelma and Louise.
Yeah.
Wasn't really on my, I knew of it as a kid, but it didn't exactly strike me as a movie I wanted to see at that point.
Same. Yeah, same here.
I'll admit it, I have not actually seen the whole movie start to finish.
Neither have I. I've never seen I've seen bits and pieces, and like I've seen the end scene. I think that's the main thing.
Okay, the end scene and Brad Pitt holding the hair dryer.
Oh yeah.
Even though that wasn't technically his first film, Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Oh right, yeah.
Or Revenge of the Attack of the Killer Tomatoes.
Yeah, Revenge, I think it was. Yeah.
So, and again with Brad, probably our very first movie that we talked about, A River Runs Through. It's where I really found him, and then it was what was it?
Legends of the Fall after that for me.
Interview with the Vampire, 1994.
Yeah, I didn't see that one right away.
I did.
It was River Runs Through It, then Legends of the Fall, and then I think I saw Interview with the Vampire later on in the 90s.
Yeah, and then from there his career obviously exploded. And
oh yeah,
there's so many good Brad Pitt movies you pull from, but we're going to stay here in what I think is really a lot of proof of concept for Batman.
Well, that's the interesting thing is like when for me, Michael Keaton, like when he played Batman, I remember as a kid, I didn't realize, my parents told me that he was Beetlejuice. I'm like, no, he's not. Because with all the makeup and stuff and the hair, and I didn't put two and two together, until my parents said that, and I didn't believe him at first. And I was like, really? That? And then he listened to it, it's like, that is him.
Yeah, so I could see that. So what I found striking were so many times I was just watching, like the very first time we see Beetlejuice come out of the grave, and then swoop down. I'm like, God, this feels just like how they planned it for Batman.
Yeah, I never thought about that, but you're right.
Yeah. And
Like,
what's cool about this movie is Michael ad-libbed so many of his lines.
really, I didn't know that.
Yeah. So when he starts doing his little dance and stuff, I'm immediately thinking, remember in Batman when he kind of acts crazy
Yeah.
in front of the Joker as
You want to get nuts? Let's get nuts. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm watching the scene in Beetlejuice. I'm like, he took that from here to put it there.
Right.
So, and it's because of the success of this movie that Tim got the green light to do Batman. So I'm sorry that it sounded like we're making Batman Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
You can't have one without the other.
Yeah, you can't. I agree. I think you can't have Batman without having this be successful first.
Yeah. So as I said, Michael actually turned down the role initially.
Really?
Get it. So
oh, you didn't get like the whole idea behind
the character. Yeah.
Right.
So it was actually after a sit down meeting with Tim and one of the producers where they really kind of got into the concept that he finally said, okay, I'll do it.
Sure.
And
well, I think probably giving him those freedoms of ad lib and doing, making it his own probably enticed him too, I bet. At least I would think so.
Now, one funny thing I just have to throw out. We see the title card. It clearly says Beetlejuice, 2 words.
Yeah.
But then when we actually see the spelling on the gravestone, the flashing sign, the VHS cover, the DVD cover, it's spelled Beetlejuice like the star.
Right.
So, and at no point did anybody ever explain why such a grammatical difference in the movie between card and everything else.
It's like they went, oh, I'll just switch it. No one will notice.
Nobody would care. But did you catch that this was a PG movie?
Right.
That actually had a curse word in it.
So I was surprised because I was gonna have my daughter watch. I was like, I was just thinking this is PG-13. I was like, oh, it says PG. All right.
I know. I was having my 10-year-old start watching it with me, and then I started thinking about, oh wait, we have the second scene inside of the model.
Yeah.
With live girls.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And him being horny.
Yeah.
Or I'm sorry.
He had horns. He had horns sticking out of it.
So yeah. So our first introduction to Michael Keaton wasn't until 25 minutes into the film.
Right.
This film's 90 minutes long. Beetlejuice himself is only in the movie for 17 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yeah, because he's if you think I was just thinking to myself, I think about it, he's not in it for that long,
Now be glad we got Beetlejuice as the title. Do you want to know what the studio wanted to call this movie?
What was it?
House Ghost.
House Ghost. Yeah, that just doesn't, that's not going to have the same ring or cult, catching on. House Ghost.
Just in a passing, Tim suggested, yeah, we could say, call it Scared Sheetless because of the whole scene with the girl, Gina and Alec with the sheets, the $300. The studio loved it, and they almost completely greenlit that as the title.
Oh wow!
And Tim was like, "I was joking.
We're not doing that. Yeah,
we're not doing that." So, what's your favorite scene in the whole movie.
So my favorite scene is actually the dinner scene when they sing the song and stuff. The day, oh, I love that scene, and it just ever since I was a kid, I loved it. And like every time I hear that song, I automatically think of Beetlejuice.
I have to agree that was mine. In fact, just last year, I was doing some edits for a family video of mine
Yeah.
for the in-laws, and my oldest brother-in-law, as a kid, uh, for his concert, they sang Deo.
Oh.
And just for fun, I actually took the Deo from Beetlejuice side by side it. And it wasn't exactly a perfect overlay because sometimes they were in sync and
sure.
most of the time they weren't. But I found it hilarious. My brother-in-law found it hilarious. My sister-in-laws thought I was crazy. So,
what's your favorite scene?
Ironically, it's also Dale.
Yeah, that's. I mean, it's just such a
It's so
classic.
iconic.
Scene. Yeah,
and it's cheesy.
Yeah, I love the. I do. I love it. It's
especially
just,
when the
funny.
shrimp comes up. Obviously, it's a rubber glove.
Yeah.
So, do you know the backstory why they chose that song?
No, I don't.
Okay, so basically, Deo's meant to be a Jamaican song about banana workers on the dock. All they want to go is go home.
Right.
Well, if you think about it, the Matlins just want their home back.
Right.
So, Deo,
that makes sense. It correlates. Yeah.
Yeah. Especially since when they went into the waiting room and then got out, so much time had already passed that no longer really their house.
Yeah.
With that uber modern spin on that house.
Yeah. Which is crazy that uber modern looks now coming out like again in building and stuff. I just thought about that, like, oh gosh, that is kind of coming back, some of that stuff.
Yes, but one thing that won't come back is Catherine O'Hara's character's use of her husband's sweater as a skirt. Did you catch that?
No, I did not.
So go back sometime. Jeffrey's wearing that bright red, almost Cosby-like sweater. And then when she's cooking with Lydia, Lydia's explaining that she saw the ghosts, she's wearing it like a skirt.
Huh. I guess I never noticed that.
Yeah, go back and watch it. You'll see it. So
I have a question for you about this movie.
Okay.
So in the movie, they draw the doorway and then, knock, and then, 3 times or whatever.
The number 3 is repeated so many times in this movie.
So my question is did you ever do that when you were a kid? I drew on my basement wall and knocked and see if it would work. I remember, and it didn't, and I was disappointed.
No,
drew the door, did the whole thing. I was like, oh.
No, I'm going to blame that on Candyman.
Oh, I never saw Candyman, so.
Yeah, probably wasn't the most appropriate movie at a YMCA teen overnighter, but
oh Jesus, no.
Yes, we watched Candyman in October at a teen overnight party, and so I can safely say no, I never drew the door, but between the Bloody Mary and Candyman thing,
you were like, I'm good. I'm not going to test those waters.
Does remind me of a prank I did at one YMCA trip I did, but I'm not sure about the statute of limitations, so I will tell you about it off camera.
All right, sounds good.
But did you catch why when Lydia agrees to Beetlejuice's demand about marrying,
Yeah.
color were their wedding party?
Was it red? Was it red and black?
Red.
Red.
Because married in red, better off.
Dead.
So yeah, that was the whole.
I gotcha.
Yeah. But like I was saying, the theme of 3 is in this movie so many times. You say his name 3 times,
Right.
knock on the door 3 times.
Yeah.
Flight 409 is arriving at gate number 3. It's just 3 is the scariest number in this movie's universe.
Right.
So,
was there a reason for that? Do you know, or just
something Tim wanted to do?
Oh, sure. I mean, that makes sense right there. Something Tim wanted to do.
In fact, another little Tim tidbit. Remember the girl, the assistant saw it in half?
Yeah.
And Michael's sitting in between and he's touching the legs.
Yeah.
That was Tim's girlfriend at the time's legs. So that just makes that scene a little awkward now.
Yeah.
Now, I'm sure you've heard the rumors of that there was going to be a sequel. Have you?
Yeah, I saw there was some. I didn't watch them, but I noticed on YouTube there's some fake, even Beetlejuice 2.
Okay, so I will say some of those teasers, especially from 2017 for Beetlejuice 2, those look like a great concept.
Yeah.
The original concept for the sequel, at least what the studio wanted to do, Beetlejuice scared in Hawaii. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
As if that wasn't bad enough.
That sounds like the producers wanted to just do a film in Hawaii. So how can we do that?
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Thank goodness Tim and Michael were too busy with Batman Returns.
Yeah.
And then officially in 2019, Tim Burton released a statement via Warner Brothers saying there is no sequel plan. We are not moving forward with one. Let's put this rumor to rest.
Just put it to bed. Yeah.
So, because the idea with that one was the Deets buy a hotel.
Oh.
And it's already haunted again. And they need Beetlejuice to
come help get the haunted other ones out there or something.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
Let's
just I'll be glad they didn't make that.
Yes, for what could have been. Yeah, let's just be glad. So this movie was originally meant to be a much darker horror film.
Oh, really?
Yeah. But Tim kind of did his magic and turned it more into a horror comedy.
Yeah,
obviously. So kudos for him to do his script doctor thing. And a little extra Easter egg, if you look closely, you do see a lot of the inspiration for future Burton movies. For example, when go ahead. Which ones?
No, I was just gonna say. I mean, I think that he used this, like you're saying, for the Batman as like, I'm gonna try this and see if it works a little bit, and if it does, I'm gonna keep going with it, sort of thing in future projects.
Yeah, in a lot of ways, this is the first time that we see Tim doing a lot of claymation animation, which obviously went hard with Nightmare Before Christmas.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there's that other one, Frankendog thing. I don't even.
Yeah. Yeah. I know what you're talking about.
I'm a Tim Burton. I like his work. I'm not a huge. I have to watch everything.
Yeah. That's, I like, I mean, some of his stuff I like a lot. And then some of it I'm just like, that's okay. Yeah.
Like Sweeney Todd, I probably could stand sitting down and watching.
Yeah.
But I've never actually sat down and watched A Nightmare Before Christmas.
I did once a year, and that's it. You know, it was like, oh, that was all right. I don't need to watch it again.
My younger brother is a huge Nightmare Before Christmas fan.
There was a girl that used to babysit my daughter that was, I mean, even has a tattoo of it and everything. I mean, just huge into it. So,
A tattoo?
Yeah.
My brother has a whole sleeve.
Oh wow. Yeah. I mean, it seems like if you're into it, you're way into it. So.
Oh yeah. So not only does he have the sleeve, he has at least 10 to 15 Nightmare Before Christmas inspired inflatables for Halloween and Christmas. He has I can't even tell you how many little Nightmare Before Christmas type knickknacks. So there are super fans out there.
There is. I mean, like if you're a big fan, you're like, usually it seems like you're way into it. So
there's a lot of people who absolutely love Edward Scissorhands.
Yeah.
I've sat down and watched it once, and that was probably near when it first came out.
Yeah, I've seen it a few times, but it's not one that I'm like, oh yeah, I gotta watch this. It's like,
but Sleepy Hollow, I really like that one.
I like that. I mean, the original Batman is still, I think, my favorite Batman. I love that one. So I can't tell you how many times I've watched that Batman.
I don't know. I like that version of Batman, and I also like Bale.
Oh, I do like Bale too. It's just they're so different, you know.
Exactly. So
for the time when Michael Keaton came out and did that first Batman, it was totally different. And I mean, the Batman I'd seen before that was Adam West, you know. Absolutely. So it was like, holy cow, look at this Batman, you know.
And yeah, prior to that, the last Batman movie I saw was the 1968 Batman the movie.
Yeah.
With bat shark repellent spray.
Yeah, right.
And the Batcopter and the which, don't get me wrong, I love that movie just because of how nostalgic.
Yeah, I love that old Batman. I mean, I loved Adam West's Batman, that whole thing, but this was such a difference. And then, like you said, Bale was a big difference too once that whole thing came out. I love that too. So
I think we can all agree Clooney rightfully deserves being the worst Batman we've seen.
Man,
I think it's worse than Affleck.
Wait and see if the Edward Twilight is yeah.
I know.
No, I agree. I think Affleck, I didn't think Affleck was that bad of a Batman. I didn't mind it because he played that older Bruce Wayne. I know we've totally got off the rails here, but you know, it relates.
It all relates. Because if it wasn't for Tim Burton, we wouldn't have all these.
That's right. I agree. I think that's absolutely true.
And just because we brought it up last time, Val Kilmer actually did a pretty decent job.
Yeah.
He just couldn't move anywhere while wearing the suit. And that's the whole reason he said no to doing Batman and Robin.
Right.
So, and after that, we had, I may have nightmares now because of the nipple suit.
Yeah, I know. Put nips on Batman.
So, but overall, like I said, this movie came out in March of '87.
Yeah. Well, that's the funny part. I think I always relate it to Halloween, even though it's not even never didn't come out then, and it's just yeah,
Yeah, it's that weird period of the 80s where it went against the grain.
yeah,
You know, if you have something horror-ish, typically you start seeing it in mid-September
right,
or October.
yeah,
That's just the unwritten rule. But this is definitely is one of those where it's become a Halloween tradition.
oh yeah,
Um, and
and
it's
it's
really
definitely
started having a second life, almost a triple third life now, because I'm sure as a kid you watched the Beetlejuice cartoon series.
cartoon. Yep,
Did
I
you know
sure
they
did.
made a musical?
I didn't until I went to YouTube to watch the trailer
And you
before I
stumbled
watched
across.
it, and I stumbled across it. I was like, I didn't know they had a musical. Yeah, so
Yes, there is a Beetlejuice the musical. I actually thought about sharing part of it, but
you can go on YouTube and find it real easy.
yeah, there's a lot. I think the only reason I remember it is uh, it came out about the same time Hamilton hit Broadway.
Oh, okay.
It just finished its run at I think the Beale Theater and actually was moving on Broadway. And so when the Tonys came out, uh, I actually sat through the Tonys that year just so I could see the Hamilton stuff and
Oh,
watch the Beetlejuice. We're going to
well,
keep this.
I had forgotten about the cartoon also until I went to the trailer and I was just kind of skimming through and I was like, oh yeah, the cartoon. I used to watch that.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Which I just want to throw out that it actually used Danny Elfman's Beetlejuice score as its theme.
Right.
So none of the other voice actors sound anything like
No, yeah.
and really this cartoon takes a completely different spin on the whole characters because we don't really have the Matlins in it.
No, yeah.
Lydia and Beetlejuice, but it's still it was fun.
Yeah.
If you need some late 80s, early 90s nostalgia, may I suggest some Beetlejuice, maybe some DuckTales, the
Yeah.
class.
DuckTales.
I don't have it.
Little Darkwing Duck.
Darkwing. Remember the vampire Count Duckula?
Count Duck.
You remember that?
I do not. No.
Oh my god. Count Duckula was a vampire, but when he was created, instead of getting the blood of the vampire, a bottle of ketchup fell in. And so he sucks ketchup instead of blood. He's allergic, grossed out by blood. It was on USA. It was
Yeah, see, I didn't have cable, so that's why I didn't see it on USA. But DuckTales, Darkwing Duck, that was regular non-cable NBC or CBS or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. The only reason that even popped in my mind is because we're talking about Halloween.
Yeah.
Count Duckula. Come on. How funny is that?
So this since we're talking about Halloween, my all-time favorite like Halloween cartoon was Garfield's Halloween special where he dresses up like a pirate and they go getting the candy and the chase the ghosts. I showed that to my daughter like 2 years ago. It is her favorite now. We watch it all the time.
Well, since we're talking nostalgia, I just picked up the Monster Squad.
Oh, nice. That's awesome.
So
Wolfman don't got ours. That's so good. I'm gonna have to go get that and have my daughter watch it. That is a good one. She's perfect. 14 years old. That's perfect for that.
And with that, that's probably a sneak peek to season 3, October 2022. So we're going to keep this one kind of short. But as always, Luke, thank you. And we have something very, very special planned for next month. It is time sensitive, so we're not going to tease you too much, but it will be an epic fight. That's all I'm going to say. So, Luke, once again, thank you, and we'll see you guys
My
next week.
pleasure. Glad to be here. Thanks.